All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's lair. I'm your host, Larry, and we're back for another interesting indie game here today, checking out Guppy, which is a game all about a fish, or being a small little guppy fish in a really big, scary world, and it's made by Ninja Dodo Games. It's available right now on Steam for a cool $3. So it's not supremely expensive, and it's a game all about relaxing and experiencing what it is to be a guppy, the life and times of a small little guppy fish. Our goal? Well, hopefully not to get eaten, because that's definitely something that happens in the animal kingdom, is accidentally getting eaten. You just wake up, you have some breakfast, and you go out to get the newspaper, and suddenly like a Doberman eats you. Same basic concept, just in fish form. So we're gonna cruise around, eat some little nodules of, I don't know if these are bubbles or food, and just try to stay alive and get as high a score as we can by eating flies, and hopefully get big enough so we can eat Earl. I'm gonna call the big evil fish Earl. I don't know why. I don't know what Earl ever did to me, but Earl is now the big scary fish's name because he's a bit of a dick. Good news is that we can relaxedly hide underneath of these lily pads and go about our fishy way. Now, I will say there is one facet of this game that I think is probably the most interesting, and that is, in order to give you the whole fish experience a little bit better, oh, I just got eaten. That shows you how fast you can get eaten in this game. Like, just Earl comes out of nowhere, bites you, and then you're just dinner. Unfortunately, Earl doesn't really eat any of the other fish, which I think is kind of lame, because I would totally use them as decoys if possible. So that's the life and times of a fish. We just try not to get eaten. So the thing that I was about to say that's most interesting about this is that you don't really control your guppy fish by pressing the forward arrow and then drunkenly maneuvering with the left and right arrow keys. No, you actually control the fish completely with left and right. So you kind of swizzle back and forth to kind of make a flipper motion with your tail to get going really fast. And then by simply using your momentum to list back and forth, you can just kind of maneuver. It's a little awkward, but I feel like it's true to form, and if there's one thing I can say about this game right off the bat, I do feel like a fish. Like, my movements feel spastic and erratic, like an actual little derpy guppy fish, and I feel about as helpless as a guppy fish. Which leaves me one of two options here. I can really get stressed out and bonkers over every little animal that wants to come and eat my delicious face, or I could just relax to these very charming, relaxing tunes and just try to stay alive a little bit longer. And that's really the whole of it. There's not a lot of crazy amount of depth to this game. There's no hidden meaning behind everything. It's just, you're a fish, and you want to stay alive. And I will say, it's actually kind of relaxing and kind of charming in its own little way. It's got a really fun little art style. It's got some good sounds that are, in fact, rather relaxing. And I think part of the challenge is really coming from the control scheme itself, as opposed to the concept of avoiding predator fish in some pond somewhere in somebody's backyard. That said, it is ridiculously hard to avoid this fish. He just kind of chills out nearby, and he doesn't seem to really want to go after the other fish. I would say if I really believed that this game could be a full proper fish simulator, I think what you should be able to do is, as a cute little guppy fish, you should be able to just swim through a school of the other colorful fish, and the big fish will just go after them because you're already gone. Otherwise, I mean, it is exactly what it says on the package. It's kind of a relaxing game where you just derp around as a guppy fish, try not to get eaten, which surprisingly difficult, I will admit. Because again, like, Earl just kind of appears out of nowhere like this, and he will literally, if you don't swerve at the last microsecond, he will just eat your face. He is not friendly. And I feel like he's attracted to your fishy self whenever you eat one of the flies, because when you eat the fly, it does a ripple effect, and I think that attracts the other fish. Which, if that's true, that's really cool, but I think it should in some way imply to you through the interface that, hey, you just ate something and made, like, a ripple. Stuff is gonna come and investigate, Larry. They are not keen on you having a free meal, alright? Or else you're about to become a free meal. So my methodology has been eat the fly, wait under the lily pad that is hiding me safely, and see if Earl comes to eat my face. The other thing I'm very curious about is, does any of the stuff that I'm doing end in getting bigger? Or am I just trying to eat as many flies as I can and try not to get eaten for as long as I can? Because for the life of me, I don't feel like I'm getting bigger, which is fine. Not every game needs to offer me the ability to become king of the pond, but, you know, it wouldn't be, whoa. Oh, apparently I'm immune in here. Haha, Earls, you can't get me in here. That's right. I'm invincible in my lily pad kingdom. Ha ha ha. You boys can just piss off. So I guess the higher your score, the more deadly fish come to try and eat you, which is cool. Yeah. I think the only thing I have for a complaint is there just doesn't seem to be a lot of variety in this environment. So if you were going to continue to build upon this game later on, I would say an important factor would be unlocking additional ponds and additional places where you can swim around and avoid obstacles. And maybe you just go and experience life as different types of fish. Because this is definitely something you could just watch like a lot of Ocean National Geographic to get some ideas of what it's like to live as different fish. And build different types of ecosystems. Because this game could almost be, in its own right, almost educational at the end of the day. Like, I could totally see this being like a day in the life of like a sea crustacean, or a flounder fish, or an orca whale, or I don't know. Maybe a house cat that fell into the bathtub. It's completely up to the developers. Otherwise, it is exactly what it says. It's a $3 game that is relaxing. You get to derp around as a fish and try to stay alive, get as many of these flies as you can. And you don't necessarily get to be king of the jungle, which is fine. Otherwise, every game would just turn into a Gario, which is a fun game, but I don't always need to have the pressure of becoming the king of the microbes and just slowly zip around and try to eat everybody. The option's there. I mean, I won't lie. Like, I have thought about it, becoming king of the microbes. I think that would make for a funny video, but hey. That's just... Wait, did I just get bigger? I think I might have just gotten bigger. I feel like I'm slightly bigger than the other guppies now. Can I eat you, Freddy? Look, Freddy, this is nothing personal. I need your flesh in my body. Alright, I can't seem to eat the other fish. But that said, I mean, it's just a simple game. The idea is zing around as a fish, eat the flies, stay alive. Oh! Or get eaten by Earl. I think it's fairly enjoyable. I feel like I wouldn't necessarily play this for a long time because I need a certain amount of depth and replayability from my relaxing games, which I have a few of them. But for what it is, this game is pretty good. So check out for yourselves if this is the type of thing you'd be interested in. What you see is what you get with this one. So that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Links to this game are in the video description below. And if you have a game that you would like to be previewed on the Chupacabra's Lair, feel free to hit up my About section and send me an email. So until next time, bye everybody, and have a good one.